It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.
Hello, model citizens. Welcome to Humanity Junction. Tonight on Trains in Tech, we're going to talk about restaging the layout. So I had a op session on Friday night. Things didn't quite get finished, which is quite common during an op session, and in my opinion, it's actually the way you want an op session to go. And it just means that I've got some cleanup to do, and I didn't when I was becoming, quote, a layout owner, I never really understood what this staging process was. So I thought I'd go through a little bit of it during the live stream so that maybe some other people might find it interesting as well. So as you saw at the beginning, I was kind of futzing around with things. I was trying to get my camera over here on the side set up so that we can do this sort of demonstration. And I was trying to do a kind of I don't know if it's a new setup or whatever, but just trying to adjust things. And I don't know, it wasn't quite working the way I had hoped. So, you know, we are where we are. Before we get to all of that other stuff, I got a couple things here on the table. During the last live stream, I talked about the breast cancer awareness cards that I have, and I mentioned that I didn't have the Eastern Seaboard car, and the one that I was actually talking about was the boxcar that they put out a couple years ago, because that's what I kind of thought I was looking for. But what I didn't know, and Marty M actually pointed it out for me, is that Eastern Seaboard Models actually has this guy as well, which is a 60-ton well car that is the the Help Fight Cancer car, Conrail 768024. So thanks to you, the subscribers, I spent more money on something that I don't need, but, you know, it's for a good cause, so I was happy to do it. Of course, when I buy something, I start looking around on the website, and next thing you know, you end up buying a bunch of other stuff as well. So I also picked up these two cars, and at first look, everyone's probably like, oh, nice New Haven cars. But these actually are not New Haven cars. They're B&NL cars, which is a freelance railroad. It's the Bridgeport and New London Freelance Railroad. I'm not sure what Eastern Seaboard Models connection is to this railroad, but I thought, you know, cool New Haven checker box cars, B&NL. I figured I had to get them because I was already ordering this other car. So in addition to the help that I received from all of you in getting these cars, on the way back, I think it was on the way back from Amherst, the person that I went up there with, Andy Estep, was like, oh, have you seen the 1985 visitor's guide for Selkirk? And I was like, oh yeah, I remember seeing that, but when I saw it, like, I couldn't find a copy of it. And of course, Andy, being the nice friend that he is, says, oh, here's one on eBay in good condition. And I'm like, oh, geez, great. Thanks. So, of course, now I've got my very own Conrail Selkirk Visitor's Guide. I haven't even opened it yet, but on my layout, if you don't know, back here I'm kind of calling Selkirk. It's kind of my north staging area. So, you know, it fits, it makes sense. So I thought I'd actually, now that I built an area that I call Selkirk, I might as well actually learn something about Selkirk. Another thing that I bought as well, just because I'm always buying books, and I don't buy the books to actually learn anything because, you know, that would require actually reading things. And if you know me well enough, you know my reading and spelling and reading comprehension and all those things are just pretty, you know, poor. Arizona Hobbies. A gentleman named Randy runs Arizona Hobbies. In my opinion, best pricing, best collection of books out there for model railroading and railroading in general. And just really good service. I've always had really great service from Randy and the team at Arizona Hobbies, but I picked up these other two books as well. This one is a picture book, so I might actually be able to read this one, but I thought, you know, it's got a little New York Central right on the cover, the Upper Harlem line. I just thought, so Dennis from Otter Creek asked if I had ground cover down. I do not have ground cover down on the layout, but I am starting to look more at pictures and stuff of ground cover to start getting some ideas. In addition to this book, I also picked up this one as well. New York Central Railroad, Stations and Structures Pictorial. Jersey City to Weehawken. Again, I just thought there were some really neat pictures. Again, I can read the pictures, and I'm guessing that's Grand Central, maybe? I don't know what that is, actually. No, that can't be Grand Central. What is that? I don't know what that is, but that's a cool station. I missed a golden unboxing opportunity. It's all good, you know. The restaging of a railroad can take different amounts of time depending on, you know, how far along in the session the modelers got, the operators got, how detailed the operators were. So there is some sections where everything is all wrapped up and lickety split, and there are other sections that still have a lot of work to go. So this just came up in the chat. Somebody asked about the letter, and I have said I am not opening the letter until my Digitrax package delivers. So here just so everyone can see, let's zoom in a little bit, just because, you know, might as well zoom in, get the full picture. This has been going on for so long that the history is now getting cut off. So this got shipped on the 24th, and you can see here that the first entry is not until January 1st. So they're missing one round trip down to Florida and back. So this is 2 PM74s. The PM74s, there's some issue with them. And why is the letter connected? Because why not? I'm just mad at USPS at this point, and I'm just, you know. So this is the second. It left New York, and then here it is on January 1st coming back to the New York area, January 2nd coming back to the New York distribution center. After it reached New York again, which is where it shipped from, it went back to the Pensacola, Florida processing center. And then after being at Pensacola, it went back to Phillipsburg, New Jersey, back to New York again. So this is the third trip back to New York. Then it went all the way back down to Pensacola, Florida, and then it went back to New York. So I've already lost track of how many trips this thing has made. So after it went to New York, it went back down to Pensacola, Florida on the 19th. And then this was a new place. On January 21st, it went to Gulf Breeze, Florida. I was so glad that I saw it go to a different location. Then it went to Jacksonville, another different location. I was like, okay, good, we're getting somewhere. Finally, we're getting somewhere. And then it went back to Pensacola, and then went it back to New York. And I was like, okay, this thing, like, it's probably going to stop in New York, or they're probably going to deliver it back to me or something like that, right? Like, they've had this package for over 30 days at this point, right? Like, it's definitely just going to come back to me and I'll have to reship it. But then it went back down to Memphis, Tennessee, which I was like, great, a different place. It hadn't been to Memphis, Tennessee yet. So I was hopeful that now that it is in Memphis, Tennessee on the 5th, and ended up back in the Mobile, Alabama distribution center, I'm like, okay, you know, we're in a different zone now. It hadn't been here before. It's probably going to end up in Pensacola, Florida again. I don't know. Maybe the people in Pensacola just don't like us New Yorkers or something, so they just keep sending it back. I don't know. But did anybody count how many times it's been back to New York? So here's one. Here's two. Here's three. Here's four. And then there was the time I shipped it. So it's been in New York 4 times after I shipped it from New York. And that's what's going on. So I've got the letter here. The letter's sitting right here. I guess I got to show it like this. And I'm still waiting. So it's not just USPS that hates me, by the way. So UPS, I had a package coming from Iron Planet Hobbies. Iron Planet Hobbies, as you know, big supporter of the channel, really great discount code. Had had a package coming from Iron Planet Hobbies, ordered another throttle, ordered some more of this urban retaining wall, got a couple of other things from them. UPS package at some point just stopped moving and thought it was lost. Well, no more scans, but somehow it magically ended up back at Iron Planet Hobbies. So instead of shipping it out via UPS, they shipped it out via USPS again. So it apparently left Rogersville, Missouri, which is where Iron Planet Hobbies is, on the 4th. Shipment received on the 4th. Of course, it hasn't scanned yet, so maybe USPS will be able to deliver the UPS package. I don't know. I guess the real question is, James, have you gotten the decals yet? I did the first set of decals that I sent up to James, for whatever reason, never got there. So we sent, well, I guess in addition to the package, so I sent a package to James that never got to James, that got sent back to me. I sent decals to James that never got anywhere and disappeared. So the package got to James via the community, and hopefully the decals are going to get to James through the community as well. I don't know. I just don't seem to have any luck with anything. I mean, Steve Childers even got his decals, and he's in Oklahoma, and we all know Otter Creek as well as we do, so we all know, you know, what to expect from Oklahoma, and yeah. I do know James's decals are in Canada. I do know that. So hopefully he's going to get them. So do people say decals or decals? I guess that's like the important question, really, right? Is what is the correct pronunciation? Is it decals or is it decals? Because everyone really wants to know. So so this is amusing. Look at this. So Steve and Lynn and Bernard have all spelled it the same way, which I think is pretty good. And Dave goes with decals, which I like. I think there's something kind of regal about decals. I don't know why. Steve says dead cows. Bob says decals. They still USPS is still out there delivering them. So yeah, so I've been having some fun with various different shipping methods. But enough of that, shall we? Let's actually do this. So if you were here at the very beginning and you saw things were messed up, the reason things were messed up is that I started back with the thank you roll again, but I haven't automated the roll yet. So I actually have to start it and stop it. So I tested it before we started the stream, but I forgot to turn it off. So when I started the stream, anyway, I'm going to start running this again about once a month. I'll update it. These are all of the people that have provided support through either Patreon or YouTube memberships. I do really appreciate everybody that supports the channel through all different means, but I do just want to give these people a shout out for their extra support as well. Lynn wants to know who is as of is the date, date and not time, but just date as well. But yeah. Also, I am a little under the weather. I don't know if you can hear it or not, so I'm pushing through, but I think I picked up the convention crud, as they call it, but not actually at the convention. I think I picked it up later on. So let's start talking about this thing that we've got here called a layout. And basically, you can kind of see the state that the layout's in. And things are kind of ish where they need to go, but certain things didn't get finished. So there are certain things not in their final resting place. I could technically, theoretically, what did Dennis say now? Yeah, I didn't even get it from Bernard. It was a different one. I don't know what Dennis did. Okay. So so the first thing that I'm going to do is I need to assess what was done and what isn't done, and then I need to figure out what I need to do. And in most cases, this is kind of where the layout owner gets to operate their own layout, because, I mean, I could just move things by hand, but, you know, I guess kind of a little bit the more fun way to do it would be to actually run a train, because why not, right? I guess that's why a lot of us are in the hobby, is to run trains. So I may touch some things with my hands, but the first thing that I am going to go through and do is just basically check out where everything is and just get an assessment of the railroad. So I'm going to start here. This is, I don't know why I start here, but this is basically where I start. I kind of go from north to south. I kind of go through the car card boxes in this order. It kind of it kind of makes it a like a process that I'm going to do in order, and we'll kind of go through things. Do you or do you not block trains by set out order? So I as the layout owner, do not block the cars. I encourage the yard masters to block the trains before they set out or send out a train, but they don't have to. So yeah, I don't block the trains. I do just, you know, I just send things out there. So what I've currently got, right, in this first bin, this is Harmon 3, is I've got 2 cars that need to go up to Selkirk. Maybe if I do this, you might be able to see them a little better. Let's zoom in. So we got 2 cars for Selkirk. So these are 2 cars that came into this north yard that need to go out to Selkirk. So these are empty cars. You can see this one came from the Mink building. This one came from the malt house. And these need to go basically north. And then we've got this stack of cards. This stack of cards was turned backwards. And these are cars that came in from Selkirk to Croton Harmon. So this stack of cars are where they need to be for the next session. And for the next session, I will need to flip the car cards. So I will pull this top card out in this case. And then this car here is going to end up going to Manhattanville to the malt house. But I'm gonna pull these later. I'm gonna pull everything all at the same time. So what I want to do first is I want to go through and see what needs to move, and then move it, and then flip the car card. So I don't want to do any car card flipping until I figure that out. So on this track here, these two cars here need to go north. These cars here need to stay here. So we'll check Harmon 2. So 3-yard tracks. This is Harmon 1, Harmon 2, Harmon 3. So these are all cars that went from Selkirk to Croton Harmon. So these stay here. So this track, I don't need to do anything with at all. This track here now, Harmon 1, right? This long cut of cars that is almost so long it's coming off the front of the layout. These guys all need to go to Selkirk. So I can kind of see that what likely happened is the two cars up here on Harmon 3 just couldn't fit on the end of Harmon 1. And the operator or the yard master didn't have time to send a train north with these. So all of these now need to, at some point, go up into Selkirk north. Is that what you did, Rick? Did you reprint them all smaller and laminate them? I do not think that is. As of now, as of this moment, I'm going to try to stick with these car cards at least through Island Ops. At least through Island Ops. Since we're talking about Island Ops, actually, let's just go. I thought this is kind of interesting. Maybe it's only interesting to me, but I made an update, so I thought it would it might be interesting to show. We'll see. So this is my website. This is the help wanted page for the website. If you want to operate on the layout, you basically go to wanted.rtsl, which stands for Riverside Transfer Shortline, rtsl.nyc, because we're in New York City. So wanted.rtsl.nyc. And you can go here, and there's 2 links. There's an About the Layout link. You click on that, and it basically just tells you more than you've ever wanted to know about the layout. Right below that is my email if somebody wants to email me. I do have an operations email list. So if you fill this out, it will get you on an email list. I will email people if there are open spots for an operating session. But you could just go down here a little bit as well, and you can see the next RTSL operating session is on February 21st. And I've got 1 spot filled with JJ, 2nd spot filled with AE, and the 3rd spot has an open position. So if you're available on February 21st at 7 p.m. and you want to become that 3rd operator, then you would just send me an email and I would update this. I've also put on here some other operating events or operating weekends. So Bay Rails 10 is ops weekend that I'm going to out in California. There's also the Central New York Division Ops Till You Drop that I'm going to. And then there's Island Ops, which I am hosting a session for Island Ops. And then I've scheduled as well another rogue session, they call it. So this is not during Island Ops, but after Island Ops. And I am trying to see if people that are coming to Island Ops that might want to operate on the layout, but might not want to use my layout as one of their choices for the weekend. This would give them an opportunity on Sunday while there's no other layouts or no other op sessions going on. They could, sign up for this, what they kind of call a rogue session. Island Ops is May 2nd through May 4th. Registration's open. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's closed or not closed. And then in October, the last one I have here listed is Op Around the Clock, which is up in Rochester. I don't know if I'm going to go to this one yet or not. I would like to get up to this one. Paul from the FGLK and Ed, who's in the chat every once in a while, both have their layouts as a part of Op Around the Clock. So if I can get up there, I would like to operate that weekend as well. But after paying for going to Bay Rails and the Central New York Division, I will probably be very broke. So this is the calendar, and I popped it up on the website just because, why not? Why not? I thought it was a little something extra, just because I'm so extra, right? Night ops do not need night vision, definitely not. So live streaming operations is an interesting thing. Hello, Sean. When you live stream operations, it takes a lot away from your time on the layout. And if you want to see how Friday's live stream went, N-Scale Train Boy, who is Dennis number 2, who is sometimes in the chat. I don't know if he's here now or not, but he, N-Scale Train Boy, did live stream the op session. And he was the short line engineer. And no offense to him, and I think we all learned, we weren't really sure how it was going to go. The live streaming went really well, but what happened is when we get down to this other side, you'll see there's some stuff that didn't get done. And I think part of that was just that the live streaming kind of doubles the amount of time it takes to do operations. So everything's pretty much planned out that you could get it done in 3 hours. But once you start adding other things like live streams and whatnot on top of that, the other, yeah, there you go. Oh, that's this Sunday, isn't it? Is that Sunday? The Super Bowl? I don't even know when the Super Bowl is. I know. Go sports. Go team. Post the link for the N-Scale Train Boy. Let's see. N-Scale Train Boy. Let me find that live stream. He does a bunch of other live streams, a bunch of other videos as well. Here is last Friday's ops session. So that's the link to N-Scale Train Boy. Yeah, exactly, Andy. Sports ball, yay. Oh, so it is Sunday. I was supposed to go to an op session on Sunday, but they're predicting snow, so the op session got canceled. And yes, I am very bummed because I would rather trudge through the snow to get to an op session than not have the op session, but who knows? Where the op session is located is in kind of the middle of nowhere. Oh, look at that. You say his name 3 times and he shows up. So, where were we? We were talking about restaging the layout, weren't we? As I was saying, like, I didn't understand what layout owners did between sessions. So this was I kind of learned this on my own, I guess. Like, I've never been taught this. So we've gone through these other tracks here, these 3 tracks. I do see there's a train with locomotives sitting on this track. And I don't know why that's sitting there, but if we look at the cards, we can see this seems to be a mix of cars that all need to go south. So these 3 cars need to go to Riverside South, and these cars all need to go to Riverside. And I basically know that. I can see they say via Riverside, and then their final destination is down south. And this one, so this is probably a train that I am going to run sooner than later, because the first sort of goal is that I want to get everything basically to the area it needs to go to, and then we'll switch it within the area it goes. So Dennis, I'm actually kind of glad you put that, Sean. I kept forgetting to ask him. So Klondike, if people don't know, is a gentleman that's doing a bunch of laser cutting items for the model railroading community, T-track modules, hex modules, mini dioramas and stuff like that. His name is Sean. I didn't know if it was S-E-A-N Sean or S-H-A-W-N Sean, or I didn't know. So I'm guessing it's a S-H-A-W-N Sean, so I just learned something as well. I did not know what you two gentlemen were talking about with the blue cards. I'm assuming you're both talking Monopoly, Broadway and Park Place, do not pass go. So I don't know how the Monopoly thing came up. I don't even know what I said that might have gotten us down that that thing as well, but we're there. It happened somehow. All right, so let's keep going. I'm just going down the car cards. I'm going to kind of figure out what my first moves are going to be. High on the list is getting these cars out of here up into Selkirk to give me some room to move in the yard. And I've got this train on the A&D track that needs to go down south. So that's high on the priority list to get out of here, because it should not be up here. But again, like I said, the short line engineer on Friday was slacking on their duties, and this would have been a train that short line engineer from Friday ran, and the short line engineer from Friday didn't run it. So if you see him anywhere, caboose tracks. So we do have cards for cabooses. We do have 2 cabooses on the track. These cards are correct. In addition to seeing where things need to go, I am also checking that the cars are where they say they should be, just to kind of make sure that before I start moving things, that I know where things actually are. I am starting to use cabooses. This was a brilliant idea from Jim Schweitzer. Jim Schweitzer basically runs Island Ops. He's also very, he's just a really good operator in the area, and is really involved with a lot of things. And he came over and he made a suggestion. He said, why not have your trains that come out of Selkirk have locomotives and cabooses? And I said, that is brilliant, because they're road trains. So the trains coming out of and going back to Selkirk need to have a locomotive and a caboose on them. So this caboose here came down from Selkirk and ended up here. It came down, this was the locomotive. It came down on the Trainmaster locomotive. And the next train that goes up to Selkirk basically will grab either one of those cabooses, but probably this one because it's in the front, and probably that Trainmaster, and take the train forward. Is it acceptable? The answer is no, but the layout, there's not a lot of open space on the layout, so ideally you don't want to ever leave anything over a turnout, but you know, it's one of the rules that, yeah. So between sessions, yeah, definitely not between sessions. Because this is prepared to run south, we just left it set up. Ideally, at the end of a session, this would get put away, but it's not. Are we going to see a train run? Yeah, hopefully I'm going to run this train around south after I check in a couple more things. We may run either the Selkirk train out to Selkirk, or we might be getting some of these trains in as well. I just need to I need to figure that out. If you leave on anything on a turnout, it will get popped off the rails when I power on the layout. I don't have the layout set up to automatically run all of the turnouts when it starts up, but that is a very good point. If we go to this camera here, and we can't see it because my big head's in the way, but I think if I turn my big head off, oh, you can kind of see it. So here's my touchscreen panel. I have not gone through yet and actually toggled all of the turnouts, so I don't actually know what orientation the various turnouts are in at this point. At this point, I manually go through the layout, and I manually trigger every turnout and every, power on the track and everything. I don't have it as automatic. But yes, ideally you wouldn't want anything left on a turnout. It's generally just not generally not a good thing to do. Give him a chance. It's only been 40 minutes. I'm not opening a box or anything. Come on. You should be the shortline engineer tonight. I will be. I will either be the North Yard Master or the shortline engineer. So Selkirk 1. This is a train, I can tell. So the caboose is on this end and the locomotive is on this end, which means that that train is heading north. So if I break this packet open, I can see these are all cars that should have ended up in Selkirk. So these are all good to go. But these two trains here, these two trains are trains that need to get into this yard. So that is definitely something that we will need to move at some point as well. So then we get down into this area here. So these are my engine tracks. I'm not going to go through those engine tracks. You can see, I don't know what happened to this engine card. The shortline engineer on Friday night apparently had this in their pocket and just absolutely mangled it. So I will need to reprint this, but so be it. But I do want to check. Croton-on-Hudson is a industry up here in this area. So we'll just grab these and say, okay, hey, look at that. So these all need to end in on Hudson, and they are all actually in the correct order. So whoever the yardmaster was up in this area did a really good job spotting those. They ended up in the right spot. That's pretty disrespectful. Who are we talking about? Are we talking about the shortline engineer? Oh yeah, that shortline engineer. I tell you, that shortline engineer was such a problem that, how wide is your layout there? This distance is 15 inches. I'm going to swing this camera around, and I do have the gimbal on it, so hopefully it'll move nice and smoothly. This section here is, I think, like 6 inches or something like that. And then we get into Manhattanville, which is, I think, 10 inches wide. The widest section is the section behind where we're looking, so back that way. That's 20 inches. That side over there and that side over there are both 15 inches, and that right there is 10 inches. So it really is a shelf layout. Oh yes, the card crumpler is a real problem. So I do want to just check Manhattanville, kind of see where we're at, just to know, because I am going to be driving a train past it in one direction or the other. So I just want to, before I move anything, I do just kind of want to check. I do just kind of want to check the these trains as well before. I'm surprised. All right. So I got, this is a new box right here that I just put on. So this was not here during the last session. This box I got from a company out of Texas. The guy makes some laser cut kits. This is the only 2-car card box that I was able to find anywhere. This is a 3-card box that I just got from Microtrains, but I would needed a 2-card for over whatever I'm trying to say. Let's see, this one, FW Web 123. It's even on the right track in the right order. This one as well, 1, 2, 3. So the off spot is this farther one away. The building is going to be here between the tracks. So these are in the right spot as well. And then we are going to come down to this side. So these 3 are actually 3 industries on 1 track. And if I turn the camera a little bit more, you can see there is 1 industry track here. This area is going to get built out where all 3 of these industries will be along that 1 track. So Studebaker is these 2 spots here, and we've got 1 and 2, the correct 2 cars there. We've got 1 and 2, which is the next 2, which is the Mink building. And then we've got these 3, which are Malt, which is 1, 2, 3. So it seems like the best move at this point is going to be for me to take this train and get it down to the south side, and then start shuffling some stuff around up here to get it more into a final position. And yeah, I mean, a lot, there's a lot of shuffling of stuff. So the thing I need to do now is remember how to set up a consist, because there's 2 locomotives there. I need to turn on the layout, which I will do by going into this handy dandy little screen that I have here. So we'll use this, we'll turn the layout on. What is going to happen when I power up this throttle is we should see this throttle appear here, I think. Maybe. Theoretically, oh, there it goes again. I don't know why it does this, but every once in a while when I go to turn the throttle on, it gives me that error code. I don't know what that error code means. I don't know what's wrong, but I just pull it out, stop it, restart it, and I don't know. And then usually the second time it starts working. So it just worked that time. I don't know why. So the throttle says it is now connected, but as you see here, it doesn't actually show that it's connected. And I don't know why this throttle is doing that, but if I grab this other throttle just to show, just because, we're all learning stuff tonight, right? So we're going to take this throttle, and I'm going to fire up this throttle, which is also another TCS Wi-Fi throttle. And when I fire this throttle up, you can see this one just came up on the list. So I don't know why. Does anybody know why? Oh my gosh, Frank. Where in the heck have you been, Frank? Is it the connection code? I don't know the answer. Means you need to buy NC? Yeah. Although this is Y throttle, so it has nothing to do with whatever. It's the IDT. It probably is. So I don't know what's going on, but this one you can see pops right up. The other one, it kind of stopped showing up. But even though it stopped showing up, I will show you very shortly, if I can get my act together, that you can still control a train with it, even though it's not showing up. So I guess, I should probably post that question to somebody and see if I can figure out why that throttle's not showing up there. But anyway, whatever. We'll get to that. So we've got 2 locomotives up here, 1271 running in reverse, 1266 running forward. It is connected to my Wi-Fi because I'll show you in a second. We'll be able to actually control these locomotives. So I'm going to grab locomotive 1271 first. You can see it set to reverse. Just maybe you can see it set to reverse. You can kind of see it set to reverse, maybe. We're going to go in here. We're going to go to the consisting menu, which is 3. We're going to add a locomotive to the consist. I'm going to add 1261 to the consist. And yes, I do want it to be forward. So we are going to select that and make it forward. So now you can see, though, 1271 is showing forward and 1261 is showing forward. So what I'm actually going to do is go down to 1261 and I'm going to change its direction. So now if I go to the consisting and I view the current consist, you can see, maybe you can see, maybe you can't see. I don't know. Is this, can you see this at all? It's not focusing. Well, the 2 arrows go in different directions. That's just what happens. So now theoretically, I think everything should be on. I should have control. You guys probably can't hear that. We could see until you zoomed in. Well, I tried. Oh, okay, here we go. I have the same issues as well, and I use a TCS command station. Very interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. Are you sure it's not connected? Oh, that's interesting. No, I know it's, so what Mike from Deep Run is asking is whether there's a chance I'm connected to the command station, which also has a Y-throttle server built into it. And I know it's, I'm 99% sure that it is not connected to the command station because I've turned off the Wi-Fi on the command station. So, Dennis, you're just like testy today. I don't know what's going on with you. So the question now really is, you know, can I actually run a train on a stream and actually have things actually work? And this keeps happening to me as well. The train is firing up, but it's not moving. And it seems that 1277 is fired up, but 1266 has not fired up. So that seems to be the problem. Oh. Aye. So, there's a reason it's not working. The reason it's not working is operator error. I put in 1271 and 1261. The problem is that's 1266, not 1261. So once again, you got to pay attention to what you're doing, because if you don't pay attention to what you're doing, nothing's going to work. So I have to go back into the throttle to consisting. I am going to view the current consist. I am going to select this one and remove it. So now I need to add 1266 to the consist because that's the one I want. Now I have 1271 and 1266. Now that means that if I go and I try and move it, it's running much better, because I don't know why. It seems as if you actually call up the correct locomotives, they actually move. Yeah, take 2, exactly. Yeah, it's always an ID10T error. 10 minutes. Oh, do we really? Oh, wow, I didn't realize how late it was. Eyeglasses, yeah. I can't see the numbers on those things. What, are you kidding me? I gotta check. Let's see. I'm going down to the next. I'm going down to the next control panel. So now that train's moving, I'm gonna go down here and I'm gonna see if I can't throw these switches in the direction that I need them thrown. Okay, they are working. We are going to run on this track back here, which is technically the mainline track. And that one is displaying weird, but it should be correct. Great. So now it's correct. So we should see the train come through in a moment now that I've got everything lined up. Sorry, that moved kind of quick, but that's the way it is. Again, movement. Yes, we have movement. Now we're cooking with gas. Yes. At least we got to see the train move. Yes. And Andy, I did see your comment. Thank you. Yes, these panels took a long time to kind of work out and get them working well. There is detection. I don't know if you can make it out, but the train is on the main line. Oh. I'm not sure what happened, but the train now thinks it's going in two directions at once. It stopped moving. Now it's going in the wrong direction. See, the hardest thing is running trains while people are watching. I don't know what just happened. I hit a button and things started freaking out. I didn't break it. I know, a train running, I know. So you can see now that it just entered this track here, you can see that track lit up red. So everything has block detection. All of the turnouts have sensors and everything in them. These little yellow buttons here, they actually should be either green or red. They are for track power. And I can turn on and off all of my spur tracks, which is something that, so we are going to pull this into, I guess I should probably turn this and follow the train. It moves kind of fast, doesn't it? I can slow that down. I gotta look into that. So I'm gonna pull the train into this track here. This is the shortest arrival departure track, but the reason that I'm gonna pull it into there is because this should be on. I don't know why that's not on. I'll have to look at that. I'm gonna pull it into that shortest track there just because I want to get it out of the way of various things. So I know I'm trying to move the camera. I know I'm trying not to make everyone sick. It's doing it again. You see that it's like one train wants to go in one direction. One train wants to go in the other. I don't know why it keeps doing that. But we're going to pull in here. We're going to, oh, not that one. We're going to make sure that these are set up kind of straight so we can pull all the way in. And of course, we got a train off the track. I don't know if you guys just saw that or didn't see that, but this is a fun little thing I've got on the layout, and I'm looking for something metal to show you guys this. But watch this screen right here. If you notice, if something gets put on that and shorts it out, if you notice, it says right short. So I've got this little guy on here, right? And if I put him on it, he's shorting out that track. So I've got short protection set up. It kind of works, mostly works. So let's see if we can get these trains moving again, or if they're going to refuse to move. Yeah, I know. But we got it now. We got it now. I need to get on that layout, Mike, you know, come on down. So I will leave these cars here. Probably grab these locomotives. These 4 cars here actually need to go back north. So if people want to, you know what, actually, let's do it. I'm going to do this slightly differently. So I'm going to back this up a little bit. I'm going to take this train down onto this other track so that I can get out of here. And I'll pick these cars up and I'll head north with those cars. So we just need to set some other turnouts. Come on. And why don't you want to turn? I don't know why that turnout's not turning right now. We'll figure that out in a second. So I need to just clear this up here on this side so that we can get that out of the way. We will uncouple the car from the engine if it stops. Oh, and I just knocked it off the track. So we're going to come up onto here. And then once we get up onto here, we will hopefully... Oh, and I just hit the wrong thing. There we go. So now that we're clear of it, can you see we're over here? So you can see it's shown up there. We're gonna reverse, and we're gonna run around these cars. So those cars are these 3 cars here. And these 3 cars all eventually need to get up to Selkirk. So they all need to go north. So we're going to pick those up and we'll head back north. Yeah, Dennis, it's not easy. And that's why, you know, sometimes you just got to do one thing at a time. Yeah, it is. It's hard to run trains. So what I got to realize too is I always forget to do this. You got to pick up the cars that you picked up and make sure that you move the car cards with the train, or it won't get there. Yeah, Rick from SoCal Rail. I don't know how he does it with all the operating and whatnot, but it is definitely tricky to do both at the same time. So we just got to go past. We got to go past this one, so you should see that drop. So you can see now we're into the next one, and we came off that turnout. So now that we're off that turnout, we can throw that turnout, and we can come back, and we're going to hitch up to what is on the arrival departure track. I like that it pops up red. I think it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun that I got that to work. It's kind of neat that it's actually working. I could use a whistle button assistant. There is something that ISC has been threatening to make for a while, which is the sound conductor, and Scott Thornton is pushing to make it. And that would be basically, you know, a second person doing some, making the, you know, the sounds, I don't think you guys can even hear the sounds, so I don't know why I'm going to make the sounds, but let's see. So I should be picking those up now. There we go. They're getting picked up. Now we're just going to head north. So everything should be moving. I know that's too fast. I'll fix that eventually. Everything should be set up for me to come all the way back in. I am going to adjust things a little bit because I actually like coming into the yard ladder track as my AD track, not the other track. Oh, you can kind of hear the loco. Oh, interesting. Okay. I've got noise reduction set up, so theoretically you shouldn't hear it. I should probably pick up these cards. So I'm pulling these cards out of AD1, which is the track down here that they were sitting on. And now we are moving these cars northward, and this is going to fall over if I leave it like that. Yeah, I have a vest that I can put car cards and stuff in. It's really just a matter of remembering to pick them up. Although I actually don't know where that vest is right now. I got to take a look for it. Some things have kind of, I wouldn't say disappeared is the right word, but, you know. And Rick, you need this setup. So this setup that I'm using right now is a monopod with a very small foot base on it, and I've got a gimbal on the top of it. So the gimbal helps smooth out any of the moves, and the you know, I can move it around and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes it depends. It depends. Not always. Yeah, Dennis, when he came, had a nailer's apron as well. Yeah, Dennis, while he was here, used this setup for his live stream. I think I really like this setup. I think it just gives you know, you can kind of move things, but it's still kind of you know, I don't know. It kind of works out. So I want to show you guys this as we come in up here. So the way this is set up is I've actually got a little escape route, right? So these cars are going to come in here. What I want to do is match up these 3 Selkirk cars with these 2 Selkirk cars, so that then I can basically, I'm building a train of 8 cars that I could get up to the front here. So I'm going to use this runaround that I've got over here to get out of here. And I just realized you can't actually see the runaround. So I got to get this camera over here because that other camera doesn't show it. Problem is I got this thing plugged in, so I have to unplug it because, anyway. All right, so now you get to see, this is my live streaming setup. You can kind of see all the chaos that everything is. So the locomotive is right here right now. And what I am going to do is I am going to cut the locomotive off and pull the locomotive forward. And then I can use, there's a little runaround track right here that's kind of hidden by this right now, but there's a little runaround track. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the locomotive out, get the locomotive around to the other side. And then once the locomotive is on the other side, then we can get these all together on the same track. And I wish that little track there had another 4 inches, but it doesn't. It's always the way it is. Yeah, Ron, I like the vest better. The vest I have has really big pockets in it. And by having the really big pockets, what it enables me to do is, like I can just throw the throttle in there. I could, you know, I can kind of throw whatever in the pocket. So I kind of like that. I kind of like using the vest for that. So here are the locomotives. We're gonna run around here. We got to go out through the double slip. I moved it, so we're gonna go onto the yard lead here. Then we'll come back and attach to the back side of these cars, just to shove them onto Harmon 3, and starting again to build that train to get the next run up to Selkirk. So, see my best of real good. Oh, Andy. Get one of those nailer's aprons. Yeah, I'm not an apron guy. I mean, I guess I could be, but I'm just not. So the train's way down there now. I just used this tablet right next to me. This tablet and that tablet basically are duplicated, so that from the yard you can run it from either end, which, you know, I kind of like that. You don't need to choose where to be. It's just a, you know, whatever. Yeah, so that's a double slip. I've got it all laid out on the tablet, so you don't have to think about like the direction of the double slips. You just look at the tablet. The tablet is all lined up, tells you, you know, which way the train is going to go, and you just set it and forget it, basically, and it just works really well. So here's the locomotives coming. They're going to hit this car right here, and we'll then reverse these guys, and we'll get them running out. And we just need to clear this switch right here. We'll throw this switch and push these 3 cars back onto that track there. The other thing that I need to do... The other thing that I need to do is, so when I came up and ran around, these cards are now in the wrong order. So I need to reverse the order of these cars, because I'm going to take these cars and we're going to put them on the front of Harmon 3, and you want them to be in the right order, basically. So you tap where you are and when you want to go, and it does everything else. Exactly. So now we're going to back up, hopefully. I hope we're going to back up. I really want to know why this isn't showing this throttle. I don't know why, but I don't know that I actually have enough room for all 3 of these cars, so I'm gonna ease in here slowly. I don't want to couple these guys up here. I want to leave space here because they don't, you know, I don't want to connect those up. So I do just need to clear. There is a yellow tie. Yeah, I'm not gonna make it. I'm gonna come close though. So I've got a tie painted yellow. If you don't clear that tie, which I do just need to push this all the way back. If you don't clear that tie, you will clip that other car on the way back. I pick up cars after each industry switch and sort them before moving to the next job. That is what I should be doing. I am failing miserably, but that is what I should do. And we are just going to uncouple here. And I am going to take this set of locomotives, and just for Dennis's sake, we're going to take these and we're going to move these over to the fueling track. The reason I'm going to put them on the fueling track is just to get them all gassed up and make sure they're all ready, because obviously I did not get everything done that I needed to get done. And these locomotives haven't gotten refueled since we ran them for the layout session. So we'll just get them on that fueling track just to kind of get them out of the way. Why don't we bring this back over here so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. And I like the idea. I attached a tablet to this contraption that you're seeing things on right now, and I like the idea of it, but the tablet is pulling it over, so it wants to... exactly. So the fueling track is that track that we're just passing right now. So we just need to clear those points. I did have to power on that track. That track is usually powered off. I think I have... Oh. I shorted it by accident. But I think that track is on now, and the train should make its way onto there as well. So let's see if we can get that on there. And once we get it on there and clear, we'll power it down. You guys won't be able to hear this, but oh, and it just went off on its own. But we're gonna turn the sound off on it. We're gonna tie it off there. We're gonna turn off the power to that track so that it can rest until the next adventure. So I still have a lot to go. I've got to finish resetting the north side. I got to go reset the south side. Next op session is February 21st, so I've got a little bit of time before I got to have it finished. But I'd like to get it done sooner than later because just in case somebody does want to come over and run the layout, it's good to just have it set and ready to go. Thank you all for being here. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I will definitely answer all of the questions. I don't know how people do ops sessions on their live streams or even on their recorded videos because it is definitely a lot of work. From the city that never sleeps, farewell, model citizens.
It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity.